Hi, this is Stephanie, and we're here with the next installment of Behind the Nail Pros. We're here with Viv Simmons, who flew all the way from Australia to do the nails for our cover. She is an expert in 3D nail design, and so we asked her to do some fabulous Japanese garden-inspired nails. How did you build those nails that were so long and they're full coverage tips?
I used a very curved tip, and then I placed a sculpture form underneath the free edge of that tip, and I sculpted out the excess to give it that sort of scalloped edge. And then I capped the entire lot with a very thin coat of red acrylic, and from there I built the flowers and everything on top and the little branches and so forth, and I embedded some gold thread into the base.
And then you went and you built the little bridge and the bonsai tree. You said that took a lot of time and that you have to plan in advance to figure out how the tree is going, or how you're going to build it.
For me, I need to picture it in my mind before I'm able to transform it into a 3D acrylic sculpture. I can't just start working on something. I have to work out in my mind how to build it, because using a powder in a liquid form, it's not like working with clay where you've got a solid matter and you can mould it into shape. You've got to actually create it from almost like a gel-like substance. So that makes it a lot more difficult. But once I've got the structure worked out in my head, then I just sort of go with the flow, and every now and then I'll sort of stumble across a hurdle and I'll try a few different things. But yeah.
It's really amazing. It's really, really amazing. The detail is out of control. Do you feel like you're ever going to go blind because you're...
Yes. I have to work with the lamp now.
Now, you were saying for the leaves that you had to attach them all individually. Do you use glue or you use acrylic to attach them?
It depends. Sometimes I use a bit of glue, although I was finding that the glue was sticking the leaf to the tweezers that I was using and then to my fingernails or my fingers. So I did find that using a nearly set tiny little bead of acrylic sometimes worked better, sometimes it didn't. It just depends on where it was positioned.
And so when you created those flowers, you create them by starting on a flat surface and then
on a sculpture form. So I'd mould the actual petal or create the petal on a flat surface, and then when it was nearly setting, I would lift it from around the edges and sort of pull it up so that it would create like a little round shape.
How long did it take you to do like the tree or the bridge?
I would say that it would take me a good maybe 5 or 6 hours.
Wow.
Just for the tree, if not a bit more, probably about 8 hours.
Wow, that's really very impressive. How did you start getting involved in working with 3D acrylic and designs?
I've always loved to draw and paint. Starting off in nails, I was always craving to lean towards more of the creative side of it. So once I'd mastered a standard set of nails, I was attending shows, expos, trade shows. I receive all the international as well as local magazines, and I started to notice some of the work that was being produced and also being on the internet. I started working with coloured acrylics, so I learned how to do flowers just on a nail, and they were pretty ordinary when I first started. And then it just sort of developed from there.
So you have a book opportunity coming up to showcase your nail art?
Yes.
How is that going?
Recently signed a contract for a book, which is going to basically cover 3D and embedded acrylic art, but it's not going to be the freestanding fantasy sort of acrylic as yet. It's going to start off with some basic designs just to learn product control, how big a bead to pick up, how to create, the different effects, how to embed a design without filing it off at the end, that sort of thing, like what I've done with the red background and the flowers. If I had filed too much or created the flowers too thick, I would have taken off the design. So it's going to basically cover all that from beginning, intermediate to advanced.
That's very exciting.
And it's going to be step-by-step pictures so that it's really easy for... Nail technicians are very visual learners, so I think they like to see a picture and less writing, more visual.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, that's very exciting. Thank you so much for flying all the way out here to do a cover for us. We're so happy to have you. Thanks so much.
And thank you.